to the Surf Nation Football Focus Podcast. Designed to support players and parents with real insight into development, recruitment, and the decisions that matter most along the journey.
Hello, players, parents, and coaches. Welcome back to another Surf Nation Football Focus podcast episode. Something different this week. Every month on the coaches' side, we have on our coach development framework, we have a content calendar where we focus on one aspect of the game and we put as much content out, different viewpoints, different ideas to support our coaches in, again, a certain specific topic. This month is directed around individual player development. And there's a lot of talk about personal trainers, a lot of talk about how much should a player individually be practicing by themselves. So I wanted to get on someone who specializes in this area, Mario Mrakovic, who is the Surf Junior Youth Academy Boys and Girls Director at San Diego Surf. He has over 21 years of experience in this space, a lot of individual work. He has created the Mrakovic Method training systems and has a very strong philosophy towards technical development and skill development. So I want to get him on, ask him a few questions. Also, he's got some great ideas, player cards, has an app coming out. So we're excited to have him in the surf community and talk about these really, really important topics. So I hope you enjoy it. If there's any other areas, parents, players, specific areas that you want us to touch upon that might be a little bit like this on the coaching side and you want a little bit more information, please feel free to email me, Curneen at surfsoccer.com. I'll put my information in the podcast description. I really, really appreciate all the support. Here's Mario. Enjoy. Mario, thanks so much for joining me today on the Surf Nation Football Focus podcast. Really, really excited to chat. Let's talk about philosophy first. And this individual development, I'm sure you're aware, it's becoming a little bit more mainstream. And you've been doing this at a really high level for quite some time. When did you start thinking about individual development in football?
Well, let me take you back to my growing up as a youngster. I was very not a small kid, but I was a skinny kid, and I was not. I was average athletic. I was not as fast. I was not as strong as the top players. And when I went to the tryouts to Dinamo Zagreb at age 6, they noticed me right away and they liked me, and they spoke to my parents right after the tryout. They said, "We love the kid and everything, but you need to feed him better and bring him next year." And so uh, um, that was my first meeting with the issue that we still have to this day, that smaller kids are being pushed to the side. So I took that to heart, and then I tried to get stronger, better, and sober. But you cannot fight Mother Nature. You are who you are. So I realized that if I want to be better, I have to spend time with the ball, which I did, and I spent countless hours as a 6, 7, 8 year old playing with the ball, passing against the wall, juggling, practicing moves, setting up the obstacle courses, and whatnot. And I spent a lot of time playing. In 1995, I also started running camps for soccer called Speed for Soccer, where I worked mostly on the exercises that require a player and no ball or ball, where I was trying to improve individual players with speed of play, technical speed, and also natural speed. So putting all these things together, getting opportunity for the last 16, 17 years to work with the younger players. Um, we started Surf Juniors at age 6 and 7, and I was kind of upset that I had to be with such little young kids. But then Following years, I said, let's start with 5-year-olds. And then following years, let's introduce to 4-year-olds. And now in our program, we have kids as early as 3.5 years old. And I always say the earlier the kids get to us, the better. Um, One of the things that I have been doing at Surf um, is the emphasis on motoric skills, early development when it comes to coordination. That is crucial, important. Ability for the players to move in space, their agility and acceleration, deceleration, being able to move their feet proper, and only then, when given a ball, we can expect the kids to be able to sufficiently maneuver and guide the ball in a very controlled, nice manner. So I always start without the ball. Our every practice is involving exercises with no ball, where so many coaches would ridicule me literally and use expletive language to describe what I do. But now everybody does it. What used to be made fun of yoga 30 plus years ago, now all professional clubs do yoga. They don't call it yoga, perhaps, but it's yoga movements and yoga poses. And I've been doing yoga since I started working at Surf. I knew that as a player, you will need the strength, you will need the power, but you will also need a balance. You will need flexibility, and you will then, need cardiovascular. You will need stamina. Obviously, running is such important part of the sport. So, working with younger kids, I saw the immediate result. Um, I followed what happens to these kids when they go to the next coach, and I saw the continuous progression, and I saw the benefit, but I also saw a lot of stagnation with so many players because then the players would go to older coaches and individual work was neglected and not done as much. And that's why right now we have so many private coaches, we have so many out of club coaches. I can speak on behalf of Serve Soccer Club. Last year, I had a team of 11 players. I would say 11 players went to 10 different places to get extra training and extra service and uh, extra methodology and extra soccer help. So I have been putting together the training cards for the last 10 years, getting it out to the players, sharing with everyone. I've been making supporting videos, putting it on YouTube or just sharing via WhatsApp uh, and emails, and trying to help the players kind of visually see what those training cards mean and what they are. So that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, we're seeing today more organized, more team training. Where do you see the biggest gaps in technical ability? Do you see it in the street is kind of gone, so the dribbling's changed, or do you see it in more ball striking, or do you see overall technical ability is down?
If we watch gymnastics, for example, and I watched all the sports growing up, so I would watch gymnastics and I would watch this Chinese gymnast, and he would do things that are so acrobatic and so unreal, and then he would be judged on two um, two criterias. One would be the technical merit. That was the first criteria, and the other one would be the artistic merit. So this guy would get incredible um, technical um, merit points and recognition, but then artistically he would be scored poorly. So then his score would go down, or vice versa. So I was kind of like as a youngster confused, like, oh my gosh, this looked so good. This girl did a triple jump that nobody does. Like, and she's finished third place, but nobody can do this. So that was the that was the first time I met what it means technique versus skill. So what I see, and I see coaches every day, pretty much every day around me, doing work with their players, and they're teaching them or some coaching them skills. And what is the skill? Skill is the ability to do things with the ball. Uh, but how you do the skill and why. So to me, that is the biggest difference between having the program, having the method of teaching, the proper movement and the proper coordination and the proper techniques versus random skills or just handpicking uh, the the training. Because if we put 10 surf coaches on the field and say, go ahead, demonstrate a cross move or a step over. One coach is going to do one way and the other one the other way, and the other one, the next one is going to swear that he's the best because he's been doing quarter for 40 years. And then the other one is going to say, well, in England, this is, we call it this way and we do it this way. And then everybody's going to swear or believe that their way of executing cross is the best. Now, is there a perfect answer how to Croat is done? No, because Croat can be executed as a move in a different situation, and it's a different setting. But it can be broken down to say, hey, on the open field, in the corner, younger players or older players. So there is a system that can explain, that can help guide how Croat, let's say, or any other move can be executed and done properly. And that's what I think is the biggest thing. Just knowing and understanding how how technical moves are being done properly. So that's what I kind of feel that um, is something where I am different from everybody else, because I have developed my own soccer training method that simply put works. So, and everything that I've done has been highly tested and it's interconnected. It's very methodical and it's progressive. And I understand the value of Mrakovic method training system, as I have been around soccer for a long, long time. And I have learned from the best and the worst and in between. And I never felt like I wasted anybody's time or money ever, because I offer the meticulous attention to the detail, the correction, body stance, positioning, movement, with without the ball. And then also, I have the expansive number of exercises and activities. And then all of them are asked to be performed in the perfect movement, and with minimal irregularities, with no faults and flaws. We kind of nitpick everything, and we try to always correct in the start. And my mantra has always been that perfect practice makes it perfect, not just practice. Because if you just practice, that's great, but you are reinforcing also the bad habits. So that is why our training, the training that I do, I believe it's uniquely different and worth everybody's consideration. And I don't think I'm just another soccer training program and a trainer. Um, I think that it's proven method that simply works. The track record, the retention of the players, the success. Uh, Individually, the names that we have helped, and the team successes. Um, so it's all it's needed is that people believe in what we do, apply themselves, and it's a blueprint to success, no doubt.
Yeah, we're seeing, you mentioned earlier about the players looking outside and going to these personal trainers. In your
Yes.
opinion, like, what's your thoughts on that? There's a little bit of tension in clubs between, there's obviously good practice and there's bad practice. I mean, what's your advice to players families that are looking at this, or clubs that are kind of managing this landscape?
I am not a big fan of what others are doing, and I am always bold in my statements because being on the older side of coaching, meaning me being older, with this experience that I have, uh, I'm not shy to pinpoint it, and I'm always willing to be exposed, so to say. Um, as we know in life, we always take everything as is. Um, I learned long time ago that we as people are kind of sheepish. We get to tend to be sheep a lot and follow. So whatever the trend is out there, we are going to jump on it and believe that that's the way to go. And I always, being the only child and divorced parents, always being on my own, I always spend time talking to myself. And sometimes when you talk to yourself, you go a little nut and a little crazy, but that's not a bad thing always. So I always try to think out of the box, and I always try to do what others don't do because I never want to be like everybody else. I want to always be my own and do my own stuff. And honestly, I don't I don't fare necessarily well as a part of the team because I always am opinionated and I always step on people's toes. And even when I played soccer, I would tell people where to go and how to move. And people don't like to be told. People like to be left alone. And everybody likes comfort zone. Nobody likes to be out of the comfort zone.
Let's talk about the cards. Because again, another issue that people are facing today is that kids are not playing, practicing by themselves, whether that's with time or space, whatever restrictions they might be dealing with, um, or just basically encouragement. Maybe is that the idea behind the cards, to have the players go away and take a bit more responsibility for development?
Yes. Since I worked with at Surf with the younger players, I came up with this idea. Uh, Growing up as a youngster, I would not want to read books. I would read comic books. So I was 4 or 5 years old, and I was very fluent in reading. uh, I was reading comic books every single day. I to this day I still buy comic books and read even the ones from the youth. I always loved comic books. Only later on in my life, I would say late late teens, I started to read books, and then obviously I got obsessed reading it. And I have gazillion soccer books in my house, uh, and I love to read. But my first love, love has always been the comic books. So I love movies as well. I love music. So this artistic side of me that I had as a young guy, as a kid, buying comic books, putting posters and pretty much covering all the walls in my room, listening to the music, making mixtapes and DJing and all that stuff. It's kind of like put all of this together that I started taking the notes of my training programs that I conveniently separated uh, in the groups of 10. So for each training exercise, I had 10 activities that are connected. And from 1 to 2 to 3 to 20, um, I figure out why not make training cards. That would be so cool. So I came up with 40 training cards, which is 400 exercises. And I had them all printed with cool designs of myself and Luca, and little caricatures, little comic looks. And we listed it very simplistically from 1 to 10. And we made a box, like a card box, where kids can put these cards. And obviously, everybody loves to collect cards. We know that. That's so much fun, so cool. And also, um, it's a great satisfaction for the players, not only to have the cards, but also to own them. And when I mean own them, not to literally physically own them, but to own them in the sense of knowing what these moves are. So as I'm holding in my hand the little poster, I'm looking at all my cards in one poster, uh, starting from number one soccer warm up straight line all the way to the plyometrics, um, and everything that everyone always wants to know about soccer is pretty much on this board of mine in these 40 training cards. Um, it's fun for the kids. It inspires them, and it's very easy. One flaw is that um, having the cards in your hand, it's one thing, but wanting to take it out in the backyard or on the street or doing it before the practice or after the practice, that's another thing. Then also not having it visually and being able to see it visually, that's another flaw. And then another flaw, and I should not be using the word flaw as often as I'm trying to say this is great. Another minus, let's say, is that players training to these cards or videos, they don't have the direct guidance. Um, so from training cards development, fast forward to this day, um, I um, I started making the app that will be involving all these training cards, and hopefully the app is going to be out within the next month or so. And I think that would be a little help. But as far as the training cards experience, um, kids love it. Kids want it. Parents love it as well. They always ask me for the cards, and guaranteed success with all the players that use them. There is no player who is going to pick up a card, practice to it, and not improve beyond highest of expectations. I have seen it, in hundreds, if not thousands, of players, and there's no failure. There's not a question like, "Hey, Coach Mario, if I grab random card, let's say number 10 screen moves. And if I practice pull inside cards and pull bottoms, and I practice the tunnels and V turns and step over outside and physics outside and CR7, and if I practice this in a controlled environment, if I start off nice and slow, and if I'm very conscientious about how I execute these moves, and then I refine it and I get better, and now I move on to speed up a little bit, you know, uh, am I going to be seeing a difference in my game? Uh, there's no question if it's a yes or no. It's always a yes. Like there's no world of possibility where the improvement is not going to be ridiculous and amazing. So that's kind of uh, my take on the cards and practicing to it, because like the stamp says 100% guaranteed. This is 100% guaranteed program.
Love it. Love it. All right, last one for you. Let's talk about the app. Is that the next plan then in reaching more kids and then offering this to clubs beyond San Diego Surf?
Yes. I have heard only the worst stories about apps, and my feeling is that um, apps don't function as well, and uh, there's always the initial excitement, there's always initial motivation, and then kind of over the time it subdues and it goes away. Just like anything in life, everything that is new and fresh, everybody wants it, and then kind of everybody starts getting tired time over time. So that's why the app that I want to make has got nothing to do with the other apps that are on market that I see. And there are great apps and there are great tools to help players. Just to be clear, what I believe in my app, what I made is the proven track record. So when you have two girls drive from LA and they drive to your backyard and they drive to your futsal and they drive to your um, soccer training in the parks, and then these two players make the effort to drive, and then these two girls go home and they wake up in the morning and they take my training cards, and these two sisters, they practice every morning, as the father said, religiously, to my training cards and my training videos. And then 10 years later, both sisters are on the US men's national team. To me, it's like, okay, I I strongly believe that my training helped them because I've seen them at the time when they were younger, how they played, how they utilized my skills, and how they improved their skills via my training methodology, via my training with them, training cards, and the videos that I was providing them. And then I see them now being stars on the U.S. national team. So that's one story. I have several, but the app that I want to uh, offer, and obviously I would love to offer it to the surf nation to surf because I'm surf coach and I'm surf in and out, and I I don't see my ever coaching anywhere else. I want to be at surf until I retire, and I don't feel like that's going to be anytime soon because I feel like I'm literally just getting started. Uh, as I'm motivated more than ever, what I believe that app that I produced, and it took me a lot of time to come up with the system that I created that works, is that the exercises, the activities that players train to, that coaches teach, those are the constants. Those are the techniques that are here to stay. They have been here 50 years ago, obviously evolved, improved dramatically, but they don't change. The running techniques don't change. They only get a little bit better. But uh, driving the knee up, um, driving high knees, doing the butt kicks, um, doing the side shuffles, uh, doing the zigzag moves with the coordination, uh, super glue dribbling or attacking moves, defensive moves, a ball on the ground collection, ball in the air collection, the shooting on the ground, in the air. Um, all of these techniques, they have one thing in common. They don't change. They are what they are. We as coaches have opportunity and responsibility to teach these kids how to do it properly. And there is no good coach who is going to just ask a player to go do a warm up on your own. I taught you how to do the warm up. You are 7 years old. Go do the warm ups. No, no. A good coach has to pay attention to the details and always thrive by improving the players and noticing and pointing to the uh, little things that can be improved. And I always say, little things make a big difference, and that is so true. And that's what our app does. Our app gives 400 exercises that are all connected one to another, and they're all part of the big puzzle. So that's 400 puzzle pieces that a player takes and tries to put together. Is it with the help of training cards? Is it by help of the app videos or train alongs? Is it by help of the coaches? Is it by just players' self-discovery? The beautiful thing about the program is that it's great for kids age 4 and 101. Anybody can use our app, our program. Um, there is no there's no mandatory um, saying that it has to be done at this speed with this soccer ball. Uh, it's the beautiful thing that it can start off as a nice and slow motion um, speed, and it can be then um, pushed towards top speed. It can be done with tennis ball. It can be done with coconut ball, size 2. It can be done with size 5. It can be done with the basketball. It can be done with anything. So there is so much room for variations, for improvisations. I am a strong believer that players should equally um, improve and work on their both feet. And that's the beauty about the apps. It gives the pretty much the soccer bible of all the moves that everybody always wants to learn, wants to know. A lot of them are uncomfortable, and that's why coaches don't do it. But here we explain it, we show it, we teach it, and we help everybody master it.
Fantastic. Mario, thank you so much. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing it. And thank you for all the great work you do.
Appreciate, pleasure.